Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Want to welcome you guys. If this is your first time here, you are our honored guest and we're glad you made it. If you will, subscribe, hit that little notification bell so that you can be notified each time we go live and have one of these events. We have today with us Mr. Kerry Mann Jr. One of his places that you can find him is Homestead How, where you guys might recognize him. Kerry, I'm glad you made it, sir. I'm honored to have you here, and I'm excited to hear some more of your story, and I know the people are as well. So, could you please uh, just mention just a few things about yourself to anybody that's in here that might not recognize you or know anything about you yet?
Sure. Yeah, I'll give the abbreviated version. So, I started carnivore diet 78 days ago, and it completely changed my life. So, I lost some weight, but Sean's story really resonated with me because we had a lot of similar issues. So, I suffered from just clinical depression and anxiety for years, and I had arthritis in my foot and back, and horrible sleep issues. Was on all sorts of medications, and carnivore diets just completely changed my life. I did a big video on, I was just going to do one video. I've been a YouTuber for 8 years now. We just hit 100,000 subscribers, which was a journey to get to. But I was going to do one video on my carnivore diet 30-day update. And I did that video, and it really resonated with people. And I've been getting so many inspiring comments for people. So I was like, oh, what the heck? I'll do another video. And over the last maybe 2 months or so, I've done quite a few carnivore videos, and I've been talking with some folks. And Sean was on my channel, and it was so much fun hearing his story over there. And yeah, that's where I'm at now. And I guess the last thing, real quick, is besides myself, I also have 4 children, triplets plus one, and my oldest daughter, Lily, had some amazing results. She joined me on my carnivore journey, did it for 30 days, and just had some life changing results. And then the latest and most interesting thing is we have triplets plus one, and my daughter Emma has been a vegan for 5 years. She started carnivore. She quit being vegan, became carnivore. She's on day 28 now. In 2 days, she's going to hit her 30th day, which I can't believe how fast that went. She's just thriving. I'm so
Mhm.
happy for her, and I'm so proud of her because she was suffering on the vegan diet, and she was fatigued and sleeping and napping all the time, and she's doing awesome. And it's been so much fun doing carnivore with her. We're cooking steaks together and bonding, and kids are all getting older, so it's been a lot of fun. And we've been sharing that on the YouTube channel as well.
Absolutely, man. And that's one of the things whenever I first started talking with you and finding out your stories and all those kinds of things, um, like just hearing about I'm Emma's story because she's the one that had the heart surgery. I'm trying to make sure I got them correct. You know, Emma had the heart surgery as
Nope,
well.
it was the other one. Lily, yeah, Lily
Lily,
had the heart surgery, and then Emma's the vegan.
okay, got you. And so, and then her heart completely like, yeah, I mean, just not just her heart, and I'm not the one with the heart, the other, the one that had, you know, it's like I want to create these these things, you know, and then I don't know. Whenever I heard her story, it just moved me, and I was like, man, it kind of showed me not just who she was, but who you were as well, you know, because I like looking at people's kids and trying to understand because parents usually rub off on their kids, you know, so their kids are going to, you know, not always, obviously. Sometimes I'm sure my kids are into stuff and doing stuff that don't represent me, but for the most part, you know, if you hang around and you know hear stories and stuff about them the most, you can tell how their parents are bringing them up, and it moved me. So you know, it was very interesting. Um, so like how many of the things and I guess I should mention as I always do, if you guys have any questions for Kerry or for myself, either one, we are going to take questions as always. Just make sure and put a cue beside them so that I can pick up on them and realize that's what you're doing, or Kerry can pick up on them. If he seems a little bit like his mic is low, it's because he is in the bottom of a movie theater and like trying to accommodate the schedule and make things work. So if you can, you may have to turn your sound up a little bit, and that's all good. We're just. I'm thankful that we were able to work it out. You know.
Sure, I'm
Um,
a little closer now. Is that better?
there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Had to get right in it. There you
Yeah,
go.
like Sean said, I'm in the basement of our movie theater. My wife and I took this place over with our girls 8 months ago, and we actually have a movie going on right now. So I've got the mic. I'm trying to dial it in so you won't hear the movie. We got Guardians of the Galaxy playing upstairs above us right now. So much
Awesome.
better. Cool. Thank you, low carb carnivore. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, and the other thing, I guess, I guess it's probably a good idea. You mentioned the movie theater. That you and your wife took it. Your wife Jen took it over. But just talk for a second, like about all the just briefly, like what all you're involved in, because it's not just the homestead house, it's not just the movie theater. This guy is like an entrepreneur making moves, starting all kinds of different things and seeing things happen. So just talk briefly about what all you kind of into.
Yeah, I think I kind of have ADHD. I'm all over the place. So we started the YouTube channel 8 years ago when we moved to our property. We moved from the city out into the country, and we didn't have any idea what we were doing. And so I started the channel Homestead How Learn With Us. And the idea was kind of like, hey, learn with us as we make a bunch of mistakes. We built a chicken coop and a greenhouse. We messed some things up, and we learned some things, and we just kind of shared the process. And then I really wanted to be able to support my family from the homestead without having to go out and get another job. Before that, I worked from home. I did internet marketing, and I still do that a little bit now. But so then we started trying a bunch of businesses. A lot of them failed and some of them stuck. So we built an Airbnb. We lived on a 2-family, and we turned one of the units into an Airbnb, and that did really well. And then we built an off-grid dog kennel. And a lot of these kind of businesses started melding with each other. So we had the Airbnb. We had guests that wanted to bring their dogs and vacation with them. And I had the YouTube channel, and I was always doing DIY projects, building goat houses and greenhouses and stuff. And I was like, how can we make money and then kind of appease the Airbnb and kind of do all these things? So we love animals too. So we decided to build a 4-run dog kennel, just a little off-grid building. It's kind of like a little off-grid cabin. It started like that, but then we turned it into a dog kennel. And it was really slow, obviously, during COVID, but that really took off. And the movie theater, we fell in love with this movie theater. So we're in a small town of 1,400, and we came to this theater the first year we moved here. And it's 150-seat single-screen theater, and we just fell in love with the building. There's so much history here. Our building actually goes back to 1859. And it was here before Lincoln was president. They had plays here and all sorts of shows, and it's just so much history. And so I mentioned to the owner, I kind of became friends with her. I was like, hey, if you ever decide to sell this place, I'd be interested. But in my head, I was like, there's no way this is ever going to come to fruition or work out. And unfortunately, I mentioned that little story to my daughter, Alyssa, one of the triplets. And so every time we would drive past taking her to school, she'd be like, Dad, are we going to buy the movie theater? When are we going to buy the movie theater? For like 3 years, I heard that. And long story short, one day after COVID, the place was closed down forever. The previous owner called me and offered to sell it to us, and we worked out some terms. And I still kind of pinching myself. It's kind of a dream come true, but it came together. And so we reopened the movie theater after being shut down for a couple of years during COVID. Learned how to run the projector and the concession and order all that stuff. And yeah, man, it's been a heck of an adventure. It's been fun on YouTube too, because we've been putting a lot of the videos on there like, hey, we don't know what we're doing, but learn with us how to basically run a movie theater and start up a projector and sell concessions and everything. And our community here has been amazing, though, and it's been so many adventures. And one of the reasons I've been doing YouTube for so long and I didn't quit, I'm so thankful I didn't quit, is because of my family and the girls. There's so many memories on there now. I was saying to someone the other day, it's like, God willing, I'll be an old man someday. If I make it, I'll be able to look back at all these memories. It's going to be totally worthwhile. I mean, it's kind of cool making a little bit of money, side money here and there on YouTube, but those memories, even now, I look back 8 years ago, I can look back and see like when my girls were just tiny and we're like picking raspberries and there was nothing at the property. And so with the movie theater, it's been a lot of fun. That was one of the reasons I did it, because my girls Emma, someone just asked in the chat, Emma's 15 now. The triplets are 15.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Almost 16. So they're getting older. Lily's 18. So I just got a couple of years left. That was the other reason I decided to go forward with the movie theater, because it was obviously a big risk, but I'm like, it's going to be a cool adventure and memories with the girls for the next couple of years before they all move away and leave me alone. So
Well, and that's one thing that I emphasize. My brother writes a blog, and not too long ago, I reposted a blog that he wrote, and he emphasizes about a story where he took his kid on a ride to the store. Something really insignificant to most people. Everybody takes their kids to the store with them all the time, but like, his son's about 3, and like he just emphasized the way that his son responded to that one event, and how he looked at him and how he was like thankful and excited about just something so small. So like being able to enjoy those moments and build that life. I mean, that's one thing that like I kind of want to get into your story a little bit more as far as that's concerned, because you talk about the journey into carnivore, and you talk about the family and how it's impacted the two. How was life before? Like, what were some of the things that you dealt with before you came to carnivore that changed to make these things possible?
Yeah. Oh, that's a great question, Sean. I am so thankful for carnivore. It's been 78 days, but I just think of the difference even in the last couple of weeks with my interactions with my family. I'm present and I'm in the moment so much more than I ever was before.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel guilty about it on one hand, especially early on when I just had the horrible depression. We talked about that a little bit when you were on my channel, but I was catatonic. I was a zombie. I was not there for my family at all. I was just a miserable person to be around. And I regret that. The last couple of years, my depression's gotten better, but prior to carnivore, I was just in a brain fog all the time. And I wasn't enjoying the moments, and time was just going by so quickly. It's just like I can't believe they're almost 16 now, and Lily's 18. It's unbelievable. So that's been one of the everyone when they're talking about carnivore, it's mostly the weight loss. I do it too. I put the before and after pictures on there because that's what people can visualize. But it's the like you said, the non-scale victories, the things that people can't see that are so much more valuable to me now. Being present, being in the moment, being clear-minded. The motivation, my mood is just so much better on carnivore versus how it was before. It's life changing. I tell people those things are worth the price of admission alone. Eating steak all the time is awesome, but a lot of people that aren't doing that, they're like, I could never do that. I could never do that. And for me, it's like, man, that the price of admission alone would be worth it just for those non-scale victories.
Oh, 100%. And I mean, and a lot of people, I try to emphasize that even on on my channel a lot whenever I'm talking about it, because obviously seeing my story is intriguing. A lot of people want to know, hey, what exactly is it? And don't get me wrong, I'm very thankful. I don't want to understate the emphasis of how thankful I am and how appreciative I am, because my whole life has been changed, and so I definitely am thankful, and I think it's amazing. I would want to see my journey if it didn't happen to me too. I would want to know. I want to know the details. At the same time, like understanding where I came from and the depression and the anxiety and all the things combined, moving from there to here and seeing the things that I struggle with, I want to emphasize the mental transformation and the non-scale victories, because like you mentioned, and you hit the nail on the head, and it's the same way for me as well. The weight loss is awesome. Each particular little thing is amazing, but I can't overstate enough. It doesn't matter what size you are if you despise life. If you don't care about life anymore, if you don't have the hope to continue on living what life you have, it really doesn't matter, what size you are at the time, or what issues you have to face with. We all want the weight loss. I haven't met anybody that is overweight, really bad, or has any kind of a, thing going on like that, and doesn't want to lose the weight and lose it right now, like even yesterday. But there's I was talking with a guy, and I kept trying to emphasize, you know, I don't know if you can lose weight this quickly or that quickly. I don't want to make you those promises. I would focus on sticking to the plan. And that's what I try to emphasize the most, because I know that if you can stick to the plan, the weight will fix itself. And I've said it many times. So how did you start out, like with carnivore? Like, did you just cold turkey it, like, I'm done, like, here's the deal, I'm doing this? or was it just like kind of a gradual thing like that?
It was all or nothing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I've done keto on and off for years, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, but so on carnivore, I'm down almost exactly 40 pounds, probably 41 by today.
So,
But at my heaviest, I was 260. So I'm actually down 80 pounds from my heaviest. So that other 40 pounds I've lost over many, many years on keto. And I've gained back many times and lost and gained back. I was yo yoing on keto. Prior to this, I was trying everything. I was in horrible pain. I just had this really weird condition in my foot. It turns out it was arthritis. They thought it was gout. I had it for a year and a half, and it was just so painful. I could barely step down on my foot. Last year I did nothing, and I was kind of desperate for a solution. I did a water fast for 3 days, and then a couple days later I did a water fast for 5 days. I was trying everything. I wasn't just sitting back and being a victim. I'm like, what can I do? I did really strict keto, but my problem with keto was I kept running into the keto snacks.
oh yeah,
And I think I've mentioned this before,
yeah.
but I was talking to someone. This was a while back, and I was like acting like I'm a big keto veteran, but I'm like, when I was younger, back in the day, 10 years ago, when I did keto, we didn't have any of these snacks, you know. And I was kind of making fun of them, like, you guys got it easier, but I think it's different. I think you guys actually have it way harder, and I had it harder because those things are so tempting, and they messed me up so bad. And not even the keto snacks too, just other things like I do the low carb tortillas, just maybe have one of those, but then I have some cheese, and then I always eat too much. I would just have way too many.
Mhm.
And on keto, I could lose the weight, but I would always stall. Right now, I'm the lowest weight I've ever been. After doing keto for years, I had this barrier I could never get under. I would just completely stall. Like I even said, I did a water fast for 5 days. I'm like, this has to, like, scientifically, how can I not break this stall? Not eating anything at all, but drinking water for 5 days and nothing. My body would just hold on to the weight. And on carnivore, it's just been complete. Like, you could put it on a graph. It's completely steady, no stalls. But I'm very fortunate because I learned a lot doing keto. Like, cheese will completely stall me and mess me up. And I think a lot of people on carnivore make that mistake. I've had so many comments on my videos. I'm doing great. I just stalled. I don't know what's going on. And I always ask them, saying, you eat cheese? And every time it's like, yep, we'll try it without the cheese for a while and see. Some people are fine and tolerate it. It doesn't stall them. So I'm not judging anyone or telling anyone how to do carnivore, but it always stalls me. So I learned some of those things. So yeah,
Mhm.
kind of long story short, I saw Ferrigno Freedom, Dante. I saw his video. That's what really triggered me initially. I saw this guy's video, and I've told this story before, so I'll make it real quick. But it was 2 years ago. This video was. I saw this video 78 days ago, 79 days ago,
Mhm.
but the video was from 2 years ago. Dante filmed it 2 years ago when he was just starting carnivore. I think he was nearing 300 pounds. He was completely out of shape, and you could just tell that he wasn't healthy. And he's like, I've been eating meat. I've been doing it for like 2 weeks at this point. And I was so cynical. I was like, look at this video. It's 2 years ago. There's no way this man 2 years later is still doing meat. Let's go watch one of his new videos. I clicked on his latest video, and my wife and I were literally clapping. This was like 10:30 at night. I was in bed watching this on YouTube clapping. I was so happy for the guy because you couldn't even recognize Dante before and after. That man's completely transformed his life. So I'm like, there is something to this. And then I got on to Dr. Barry, similar to you, Sean.
Mhm.
And I went down the rabbit hole with Dr. Barry. I consumed that man's content, every single thing, because in the back of my head, I was thinking about my daughter, Lily, the one that had open heart surgery, because she had this horrible skin condition, HS, and it was just incredibly painful, and nothing was working for her. She went to all these dermatologists over several years. So I was thinking in my head, I want to try this for her, but I got to do my research first. And Dr. Barry was a lifesaver in terms of the research. I mean, there's just, that man's got content on everything. And when you read those comments, it's no longer like, hey, this is just an anecdote. This person lost a bunch of weight on carnivore. When you have thousands and thousands of people, I heard Dr. Jordan Peterson do a video yesterday, and he said this: when you have that many people, it's no longer an anecdote; it's now a hypothesis. I mean, and on just one of Dr. Barry's videos, reversing type 2 diabetes, 2,000 comments, and almost every one of those comments, "You saved my life, Dr. Barry." I'm like,
Mhm.
this is some convincing stuff. So yeah, after researching Dr. Barry and doing a lot of research on my own, I jumped right into it, and I did no more cheat days, nothing, no soda, no dairy. The only dairy I did, beef, butter, bacon, eggs. That's it. No coffee, no cheese, nothing else. And again, I'm not judging anyone, but I've completely stuck to that for the last 78 days. And the only reason I mention that is because I know some people will have like a little cheat day here or there and they're fine.
Yeah.
I get the feeling you're like me, Sean. I don't know, but if I had like one strawberry right now, I would be off the rails. I would be ruined. I can't control myself. I'd be like, well, what's today? It's Tuesday. Okay, I'm gonna just pig out until Sunday. On Sunday, I'll be eating a birthday cake by myself, and I'm gonna be saying, well, Monday I'm gonna start over again. So I better get everything in I can right now. I'll just keep repeating that cycle. So I can't cheat in the slightest.
Oh well, honestly I have eat off plan, but I don't eat sweets. I have not. I was talking with my wife about that, and like I don't eat sweets. I don't eat bread. I have not had a piece of bread or I can't. I haven't had any sweets either for a long time that I can remember. But I have. I know for a fact I have not had a piece of bread because bread was more to me really than sweets.
Yeah.
Um, the one thing that I have allowed myself to have that I knew was not on plan was Texas fajitas, and like once a month around month five, like I was like, if we always used to go to the Mexican restaurant around here, and I love the Texas fajitas, and most of that is meat, and
Right.
it's got some of the onions and peppers and whatnot in it, so I would have some of that, but I had conditions for myself, so like I'm not having enough for leftovers for tomorrow. It's a one time you have this, and then back to your plan. But like I mentioned him, I do mention it, I do tell it because I want to be honest about it. At the same time, I don't emphasize the cheat because, like you said, there's a lot of people that cannot just go have one meal and come right back, and it causes them to slip up. And I don't, and I don't know. Maybe my results would have been different had I not done that. Maybe they would have been faster if I hadn't done that. I don't
Well,
know.
we can't argue with Sean's results, man. Was
I
it
mean,
243? I don't even know what we're at now, but last time we
at
talked,
least 243. Yeah.
man, that's just amazing. Yeah,
Um,
you did
but
everything right.
man, listen, I
They
make
should
so
be they should
many.
have scientists come out and be studying studying you and
Well,
what you did, man.
I appreciate that, man, and it's mesmerizing to me. Like I'm like this can't be real. That's a lot of weight. It's a big deal. I agree. At the same time, like I feel like I'm still judging whether or not I'm successful because I have literally, in my own personal journey, I've been successful. But in the overall mission for me, dude, I have turned what I'm doing now into the mission and connected the two. If I'm gonna claim success, and I wrote a big thing about this, and I've never put it out yet, but if I'm gonna be able to claim success, it can't just be about me. And like I will claim that I am successful when I see other people getting it and claiming it and doing it along with me because of the mission that I'm on. When somebody steps in and says, "Hey, you've inspired me," and I see that success passed on, then I'll feel like I've really done something amazing. And because I don't have a lot of control over what I've done other than the discipline and consistency and stuff. I guess I better grab some of these questions before we go much further. Otherwise, I'm gonna get way behind. I'm just so interested. Your story intrigues me. Hope Nelson asked, "Thanks for being here, Hope. What do carnivores eat? Port rind, not eat port rinds. I think why I don't know. I have had port rinds over the last year. There's nothing wrong with port rinds. Check the ingredients. Do you eat port rinds at all?
I do not, but yeah, I would say the same thing as you. You got to be careful with them. I know there's some cheaper ones you could just grab from the grocery store that got some bad ingredients in it, and then there's some really good ones. So you got to be, as Dr. Barry says, an ingredient detective for sure. But yeah, they're fine. It's a good snack.
Carnivorous Keith, latest video was excellent, Kerry. Thanks.
Oh, thank you.
And my buddy John asked, "Do people often tell you that you remind them of Jimmy Kimmel?"
I haven't gotten that one yet. It's funny though. I've gotten a lot of comments recently from people saying you remind me of so and so, or yeah. I haven't heard the Jimmy Kimmel one yet though. That's cool.
I thought he was talking to me. I was like, I've never heard that.
Oh yeah, was it you? Maybe it was you.
No, I don't know. Maybe it was you, brother. I don't. Carnivore Ron, did either of you take body measurements before Carnivore? How about now since Carnivore?
This I got to take this real quick, Sean. Carnivore Ron is the man. So Carnivore Ron is 71 years old, been doing carnivore for 5 years now. He was when I started my second carnivore video I did. I had him on my channel, and this guy's an inspiration. He just started his own YouTube channel too.
I, I actually have a video with Ron that I've been putting together, and like we already shot it, and these guys are gonna have to wait for it. So
Yeah. In the meantime, guys, check out Carnivore Ron's YouTube channel.
yes,
He's so cool. Inspiration. Just
100%.
doing circles and laps around his peers at the gym at 71 years old. I did not take body measurements, but boy, I wish I would have. And I wish I would have taken better before and after pictures. I've on some of my YouTube videos, I'll show the before and after pictures. It's you got to kind of play the YouTube game. It seems like those do well in the thumbnails, and got quite a few comments like, "Well, that's not fair because in the first picture you didn't pose this way or the light was different." And it's like, man, when you're fat and overweight, you're not really comfortable in front of the camera. So it's kind of I wish I would have done more of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't take body measurements at all, and I have a few pictures. I've got some pictures still that a lot of people haven't seen. I actually have a companion video to the walking video that is almost the same but a little bit longer that nobody's seen. And I've just been holding on to it just for future stuff to maybe put it out, maybe not. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm sure I'll end up putting a lot of that stuff out. But I hated my picture taken. I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
stand to look at myself because I had such a hate relationship with myself, and not just how I felt, but how I looked. And that was one of the big steps that I had to overcome. And that's what I try to explain to a lot of people is learn to love yourself like you are because you're valuable exactly like you are now. You may not be where you want to be. You may not feel like you want to feel, but I can assure you you're valuable as you are right now, and you're worth the fight. You're worth pushing forward for, and you're worth finding the answers and moving through. And I think that's something critical for every single one of us. You have value.
Yeah, I love that, Sean. Other thing that really touched me, I've heard a couple people say this was like, hey, what's wrong with me? Why can't I lose the weight? And to those people, I always say, there's nothing wrong with you. The reason I was overweight was because I was addicted to sugar and processed garbage, and I was born that way. I mean, my parents were literally giving me that stuff since I was little, just like everybody does in America. And so it's an addiction you got to overcome. And there was nothing wrong with me or nothing wrong with people. That was always touching when people said that to me. But yeah, and the other thing with the pictures, just real quick, if you look back at a lot of your pictures too, for me, I was always wearing just super baggy clothes. I was just looking for to do a previous thumbnail. I'm like, man, it's so hard because I hid it so well. Like I always be wearing sweats and big sweatshirts and stuff and trying to cover it up, big jackets and
I still order them. I've gotten a couple of new shirts and they're still baggy. I guess I really do need to measure myself because honestly, people have asked me, and I actually met with a friend of mine from the Quest group on Facebook today that I've come to know and that I respect and appreciate. And he actually had him over to the house, had steaks today, and he brought me a bunch of his clothes that he don't fit in. They're too big for him, and they're about the size that I'm gonna be able to get into here pretty soon. But I have no idea what size I even wear. So, man, it's amazing. I want to pop this up not just to congratulate you on your 141st day. That's amazing. But there you go. Anxiety helped her anxiety tremendously. So there are answers for these things, guys. Semi-retired Bob's in the house. I appreciate you being here, bud. He's got a great channel as well. You guys, if you hadn't watched his stuff, check him out too. Um, this is one of the guys that Brandon, he says, "Hey, Sean, I'm 9 days in and I have lost 11.8 pounds so far. Carnivore is the way to go." Now, like I've said before, I talked with this guy, and it's going to be, I guess, I mean, we could go ahead and do it now. There's no sense in waiting, honestly. Like I talked with him, and he had tried carnivore, fell off, and then now he's back on it. Obviously, he's giving updates, showing the results. But I got in touch with this guy. We have a video from before he started, like the day he started, and like he's one of the guys that I'm want to keep up with this journey because I feel like it's important. And I wish I could keep up with everybody. Obviously, I can't, but I think that's going to be something that maybe will play into the future. Could you mention some things that you see coming in the future and announcements that you've made recently that's going to impact Carnivore? I feel like personally in a big way, and talk about the movie announcement that you made.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I never would have done this if not for Carnivore. I have so much energy and motivation, but I've been really inspired by all the comments we've been getting on the videos that I've been doing. And Sean, when we spoke the other day, it really resonated with me as you mentioned the word hopeless. And when I was just horribly depressed, I was hopeless. When I was overweight, I was hopeless. All the anxiety and depression, I was hopeless. So I just wish I knew about Carnivore a long time ago. And I want to try to reach more people. And one thing I was thinking about was putting together a documentary movie on the carnivore diet. And I've kind of gone all in on it over the last couple of weeks since then. So I've set up a website, and I know there was recently a series that Dr. Barry did, and that's all awesome. It's really good stuff. I'm looking to do just one documentary, one movie. I'm hoping to get it. I'm going to play it right here upstairs for sure at our movie theater for the opening, but I want to get it streaming on one of the big streaming services. And I'm not a documentary filmmaker, but I've done a ton of video work over the years. Besides YouTube, we've done hundreds of videos for businesses, so I have some experience. But I want to do a movie that is focused on the people and not just someone that's obese. Maybe someone that's got obesity, someone that's suffering from depression, diabetes. I want to cover a bunch of different factors. And I really want to focus on the people and their journey. I really believe like one of the most powerful things we can do is just share our example. I don't think I can change anybody and say, hey, you do the carnivore diet, you'll lose a bunch of weight. It's never going to work. They're not going to listen. But if I put the example out there and say, look, this is what worked for me, just like when I saw Dante from Frigno Freedom's amazing example, I was like, that opened my eyes. Now I'm going to do the research. Now I'm going to jump into it and figure it out, make the decision for myself. So that's kind of the idea with the movie is I want to follow people for 1 year, their whole journey, beginning, middle, end, measurements, updates, all of that. And I want to have some experts on there as well. I want to get into, what the carnivore diet is and a lot of the myths around the things that everyone hears, like you're going to have a heart attack, you need to eat vegetables, you got to have fiber, things like that. I want to cover some of those things, but I want it to just really be focused on the people. So I set up a website. It's carnivoredietmovie.com. And I'm telling people too, I'm not making a penny off of this. So my daughter Emma and I we started selling T-shirts, compassionate carnivore T-shirts, and people have been buying them on the website. It's been awesome. Every single penny from that is going towards this movie. And we set up a GoFundMe, and every single penny from the GoFundMe is going for the movie. I'm not taking a penny out of that. Emma's not taking a penny out of it. It's just going to go to help people. And because the thing is, Sean, you mentioned this last time. You're like, I don't want to be the hindrance or the barrier. I want to be able to do this, and I want to do the best job we possibly can. And so many people have been reaching out. I had a guy that's a documentary filmmaker from the BBC. I have a call with him on Tuesday. He reached out to me. So I'm going to have to get someone to help me put it together and edit it. And I'm going to try to do a lot of it myself, but I want to do an expert job, the best job we possibly can. And I want to collaborate with people too. So I actually just yesterday, I put an outline for the movie, just a very rough draft on the blog on carnivoredietmovie.com. So people can see it and they can leave comments, and people were already like, hey, you know what would be cool? You got to show the scale of carnivore. And I was like, that's an awesome idea. Because I'm realizing over the last couple of weeks, there's a lot more people doing carnivore than I ever would have imagined. I think they're kind of in the closet. They're kind of scared to talk about it because everyone will just be like, oh, you can't do that. You're going to die, sort of thing. I've had so many comments on my videos from people, well, like Ron71. I can't tell you how many comments I've had from people in their 70s that are doing carnivore and are doing it for several years now, and they're thriving on it. I never would have thought. But yeah, someone left me a comment. They're like, you got to show the scale. Like if we could have like a conference or something, or just a big screen that just shows like hundreds of carnivores and then just some quick examples from them. So we're taking ideas from the public, and it's kind of a crowdsourced deal all around is what I'm thinking. But I'm totally open to suggestions and ideas, but I'm all in right now. I told someone the other day I've got kind of three big missions. God and family is number one. Of course,
Absolutely.
that's the most important thing. Number two is I'll do it this way. Number two is this movie theater. When I took this over, I we're doing everything kind of similar to the documentary movie. I'm kind of very fortunate, but the movie theater, we're not in it to make any money. You can't make money at a movie theater these days.
Right.
My wife and I, we've been running it for 8 months now. We could have taken money out of it. We're putting it all back into the building. So our tickets are $5, and we're trying to keep it family friendly, fair prices. I hate it when you go to a movie theater and you spend like $150 to take a family of six by the time you get tickets and popcorn. And there's so much history here. This building goes back to 1859. I want to keep it open. So, yeah, long story short, it's God and family, this movie theater, keeping the doors open, keeping it sustainable, and keeping it fair for people. And then my third goal is the carnivore diet movie, or my mission, I should say. So I've been
Mhm.
working on this thing every day, and I wake up in the morning with just ideas about it. I'm just so excited. And I know, Sean, we've been talking about it more, like how can we work together with on it. So
Mhm.
yeah, super excited for it.
Oh, I'm extremely excited too. I was going to mention before you move on, 1859. It's amazing that that thing's still around because as I was preparing to meet with you, I go through this process, and as most people watching the show know or have watched the show, I have no idea what I'm doing with YouTube. What I do know is I like to be informed. So, like whenever I do an interview with somebody, or I'm going to their show, or they're coming to mine, one of the things that I try to do is deep dive on them. And like obviously, if I just came across you, just met you, I want to know stuff about you because who I link myself with, I feel like that's important. I don't want to just link my name with anything because it's important to me. What I represent, and so when I was coming to meet with you, I was deep diving, and one of the things that I came across was there in the town where you live in Montello or the county or whatever. Um, they had three huge fires in like 19 or 1884, 1893, and 1899, and burnt a lot of the city down. So right there in the middle of the city, like the theater survived for all that time, and here you are have it. So I mean that's just a little throwback of history, tidbit of information, not even related to carnivore, that I found that I thought was interesting, and
Yeah,
you own the building that survived it all. So, you
that's
guys,
cool. You found that. Yeah, I've read that too. Yeah, there were basically fires all around, but this place still
mhm.
stood. There's so much right behind me. There used to be a bowling alley in 1900s. It was before they had mechanical equipment, so there's literally like a guy standing over there setting the pins up for people. And
Awesome.
when the Titanic sunk in 1912, they had one of the first picture shows. So, yeah, this is so much history here to preserve. We've literally had every iteration of film you could have, from just an early picture show like the Titanic to silent movies, all the way to the digital projector we have now.
That's awesome. But yeah, I don't want to take the focus off. I kind of get sidetracked. But
Sure.
like the carnivore movie, I put the site up. I'm gonna put the link in the description when the video's over. I'm sure he has it on his. It's easy to remember. Carnivore diet movie. Did I get it right? That
Yep.
order. I say it's I said
CarnivoreDietMovie.com.
it's easy to remember, and then I just like literally right in the middle of it.
I'm
Carnivore
still
diet.
trying to think of a name for the movie that's less generic than that. So I posted that too. So if anyone has names, I guess the last thing on it too, if anyone is interested in participating and being one of those people that we follow for a year, there's a registration form on the website. A bunch of people are registering already. I'm telling people I'm trying to get to everybody, but it's going to be a long time. We're still in the very early planning stages. But if you're interested, you could just hop on there and register if you want to participate.
Awesome. So if you're interested, get to the website, register, make it happen. Um, I want to give a shout out. Hey, Cassie, it's good to see you. Good for you to be here. It's good to see everybody else in here tonight. Let me scroll through and see if I can find any more of those questions. Um, I know it's her story, and I don't want you obviously to share all of her story. But what's one of the best things that your daughter's found? This started carnivore, the vegan. She went from what's one of the biggest things that she's found at her age? Because there's not a lot of people your daughter's age doing carnivore.
Right.
And so, like, I think it's important to emphasize, encourage, and find out how they feel about it. So that'd be a good way for us to do that too. So,
She her biggest benefit at 28 days has been her energy levels and her sleep. If you ask her though, she's totally happy that a lot of her acne is cleared up. So
mhm.
she's 15 years old. Lots of 15-year-olds get acne, but gee, I wonder why now. It's like I remember when I was younger that you'd go to a dermatologist and they're like, there's nothing you can do about it. It just happens to everybody. But that's not true because her face is almost completely cleared up now. But her energy has been insane. We just did this huge project on our homestead. We built basically the world's tallest, largest woodshed outside. Emma and I did the vegan turned carnivore, and we were out there working 12 hours a day, and neither of us were getting tired. That's the crazy thing on carnivore. Like my muscles get tired if I lift, but the stamina, I go 12, 14 hours, and then I come back in the house. I'm like, well, what are we gonna do now? I still got energy. So her energy level, her sleep, she was kind of fortunate too in that she was already somewhat outcast being a vegan. So
Mhm.
everywhere she'd go, she'd be getting a hard time. What are you eating that for? You got to eat more protein. Now it's the opposite. I feel so bad for the kid actually because I listened to that for years and I was like, I agree. She needs to eat more protein. She needs to do more stuff. She is so bullheaded. And in retrospect, I should have stopped it a long time ago. When she started being a vegan, I'm like, she had watched this horrible documentary. Um, they were basically torturing chickens, and it was very sad. And she was crying about it. And she's like, I'm not going to support that or eat that stuff anymore.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, not all people treat animals that way. And in my head, I'm like, this is just a fad. You know, she's not going to eat meat for a week. It went on for 5 years. I should have stopped it. In retrospect, I really should have stopped it a long time ago. But I didn't have the heart to, let's say, here, force her to eat meat those first couple of days, first couple of weeks when she was doing it because she had compassion for the animals. So
Yeah.
that's the other really cool thing about Emma I've mentioned before, but I call her the compassionate carnivore. That's what's on the t-shirts we've been selling because she will not eat anything still 28 days in unless she knows where it is. There's this gas station across the street from the theater, and sometimes in a pinch, I'll grab some hard-boiled eggs. She refuses to eat them. She's like, I don't know where they came from. I don't know if they were raised in a cage or not. And so it's really taught me, and I've changed my ways too because I agree with her. I mean, we can still eat this way with animals that are treated humanely, and
Correct.
it was really cool too when I took her. We did a video. I took her to this. It was way overboard, but I thought, hey, this would be a cool YouTube video and a reward for Emma because she's been eating cauliflower for 5 years. I took her to a really expensive steak restaurant, just a one-time thing,
Good for
and
you. Yeah, take her, get her steak.
she had an amazing she had the porterhouse, and there was not one little morsel of steak left on that bone afterwards. One, because I think she was so hungry from being a vegan for years, and two, because
Uh,
she's a compassionate carnivore. She's like, I'm not going to waste any. This animal died for me. I'm not going to waste all the fat, everything. It was like she cleaned the bone off with like some sandpaper or something. There was nothing left. So I was
well,
pretty proud of her. It was awesome. I do that myself pretty much, but I've been a lot more conscious of it and careful going forward.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, man. Low carb carnivore. How long should it take to go into
Mhm.
ketosis? Do you check your ketones, see if you're in ketosis or anything?
No, my mom's been doing carnivore with me as well, and she asked me that. I actually bought when I was in doing keto. I have a blood ketone tester, a pretty expensive one. I don't ever test it. I said to my mom, I was like, I don't ever test it anymore because there's nothing I can do if it came up. I literally eat zero carbs. I just eat
Yeah.
meat and butter and bacon. So I don't test it. But how long should it take you to get into ketosis? I don't, Sean, you might be able to answer that better than me. I don't know. I think it varies for everybody. For me, I think I'm able to get in it quicker because I've been in and out of keto so many times over the last years.
Yeah. Well, what I have heard Dr. Barry speak about, and I mean, like everybody can do whatever they want to do. I'll preface it by saying I don't track it either. I haven't. I could not tell you throughout my entire journey what my ketones are, because early on I heard this discussion on in Dr. Barry's channel, and he said if you're just putting meat in, you're not putting in uh, carbohydrates and sugar, then it doesn't matter. What does your body have to run off of when you're not putting carbs in it? Fat and protein. And even Jason Fung kind of goes into this a little bit on one of the videos. I can't remember the name of it, or I would share it. He talks about you put the you it like being in ketosis doesn't necessarily matter when you're only putting the right nutrients in. Um, so honestly, I don't know how long it should take. It could possibly be different. There's been a lot of people who go weeks and can't get into ketosis. I may not have been in it the whole time. I don't know, but I'm putting the right stuff in and it's working and I'm feeling better and whatnot. But I don't. I can't answer that to be honest with you. I don't really know. how long it should take. Um, as far as transitioning, that's another thing that people often ask, and I actually go into that with Bart K in an interview that's coming up, and he mentioned, it could take. We all think that transitioning over to burning fat for fuel primarily, and moving over into eating carnivore happens in like, yeah, a week or two. However, he says that the for your whole body to move over correctly and transition over to where you're seeing the full effects of how you're eating, it could take 6 months or a year. But I'll let him go into detail because he's much smarter than I am, and it'll be coming up soon. So look forward to that. Jesse asked, "Are either of your wives worried about the attention you guys may receive from getting hotter? I've had real issues with my spouse since I started." What about you, Kerry? What you
Yeah. What about you, Sean? Uh,
think?
that's a funny question. I don't think so. Sean, I saw you had your wife on the other day. That was awesome. I got to do a video like that. We have a similar story there too, Sean. My wife and I have been together since we're 14 years old, exclusively. So yeah, she's not too worried. She's not too worried about it at all. I have been getting some good attention though. I mean, I've been getting a lot of comments, so it's been great. Like from men and women alike, just hey, you look great, you look so much healthier, your face looks like you're glowing. I get that one a lot. The carnivore
Mhm.
zen or the carnivore glow, but yeah, I haven't had any real issues with my wife on that one.
Thank you for the compliment. Yeah, like honestly, me and my wife, we have known each other forever. We were together in high school. We got married. I was 19 and she was 18. We've been married 21 years in July. I'll be 100% honest. My wife probably knows as well as anybody that knows me that if you could put up with me, she'd probably get. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, but seriously, I'm completely and 100% devoted to my wife, and she knows that I am, and I have shown that by example to her over the last 21 years. And there's nothing in the world that would make me want anyone other than my wife. She's the most special person and lady that I have ever met, and I'm sure a lot of you ladies are great as well too. Um, but I'm completely and utterly, madly in love and devoted to my wife, and I would never, worry about anything like that. And I hope, and I know that she wouldn't either. She completely trusts me. But thank you. Yes.
That's awesome. Yeah, my wife likewise. And then when we found out we're having triplets, it was reinforced even more. Like, hey, we're in this for the long run now. Three babies at once.
Oh, ground beef guy. So he asked what I was drinking in the black can. It's liquid death sparkling water. It's like a carbonated water. It's just water with the bubbles in it. I've had that, and I've had the Topo Chico. I drink nothing but like I will have black coffee. I don't know why they call it Liquid Death. I think it's a marketing thing because it's got all these bad skulls on it and those kinds of things. I would have called it Liquid Life because water's life. You get. I don't know. Maybe it's just a marketing thing, but it's pretty good. I drink the sparkling water, and I drink regular water, and I drink coffee, and that is 100% the only thing I've had since coming on this way of eating. I lied. I just told a lie. I did take communion, and I had one of those little things with the grape juice in it. Other than that, no. It's what you're going to catch me drinking. I just don't want it. Oh man, what's one of the hardest things you had to give up that you thought you would never be able to give up, Kerry?
Oh, jeez.
As far
I
like,
was horribly, horribly addicted to diet soda.
mm-hmm,
And man, it was bad. Like those dollar sodas you get from McDonald's, the Diet Coke.
mm-hmm.
I live out in the sticks here in Montello. We don't have a McDonald's nearby, so I would literally sometimes I'd drive a half an hour there,
Oh,
half an hour back, throw $1 down just to get one of those. I don't know what McDonald's puts in their diet sodas, but that had me for a long time. And then I switched from that to Diet Mountain Dew. The gas station across from the movie theater, you'd get those. I started out with this one, and then it was this one, and then it was like this big, huge. It was like a bucket of Diet Mountain Dew, and just couldn't quench my caffeine needs. So sometimes I'd have two of those a day,
mm,
and that was I don't know if that was the hardest thing to stop. Well, yeah, it was. It was hard to stop, but I stopped that quite a bit before starting carnivore. I quit
mm-hmm.
that, and then I went on to these these ice drinks that they're way better for you. There's no caffeine, there's no sugar, but they have like the artificial sweeteners in them. I was drinking those for years, and that I had to drop when I started carnivore. That was pretty tough.
Hmm.
Other than that, the food was like, I'm trying not to be like, oh, it's so easy and everything, because the first week the food is obviously hard, but
Yeah.
I now it's nothing. The diet Coke that I was going insane for, the diet Mountain Dew, I don't think about those things at all. The food, the sweets, uh, cakes and candy and stuff like that. Man, oh, the movie theater. One thing that was tough, but again, it was just the first week. Our movie theater popcorn here, it's some of the best popcorn in the world. Our popcorn
Mm.
machine's from the 1950s. It's like, it's got the old kettle, and you can't make popcorn like that at home. So that was tough the first week. But now I make popcorn all the time at the theater, and it doesn't phase me at all. Not in the slightest. It's hard to explain to people until you get into this deep level of ketosis, but I don't
Mhm.
think about it at all.
Well, and that's one of the things too that I heard is one of the best ways that you could tell that your body is transitioned over is when you're become fat adapted. One of the big things that you'll experience is not having those unlike those really bad cravings like you had going into it.
Mm-hmm.
So take that for what it will. Um, John G asks, Kerry, will the documentary only cover the carnivore way of eating, or will it also cover other low carb ways of eating, such as keto, ketovore, and paleo?
My thought was mainly carnivore, but cover those just at a high level. Like, hey, here's some of the other options. Um, and I don't have anything against those. I did really well on keto, but it just stalled me out. But I've seen some really good documentaries on some of those other things before, and I haven't really seen anything entirely dedicated to carnivore. And I haven't seen any diet that's had the amazing results that I've seen personally and through other people on carnivore. So mostly I'm thinking carnivore, but as I said earlier, I'm 100% open to ideas and suggestions and whatever will make the best documentary.
Oh, I agree. You know, and that's my thing is like I've had keto, carnivore, ketovore. I have plans to have some more folks on in the future that line up in any of those things. I don't want to discourage them because I know that it's all on the ketogenic spectrum, and I would much rather see you eating keto or low carb or paleo or excuse me, whatever the thing is, like I would much rather see you eating that way than eating the standard American diet that's destroying your body.
Right.
And so, like, I don't have anything at all against that. What do I recommend? I recommend carnivore because that's what I've seen results on. I started carnivore, and even more specifically BBBE because, like, if you want, like, that's what I have stuck to. At the same time, I do understand how valuable it is to find something that's sustainable that you can stick to because it doesn't matter which part of the spectrum you find yourself in. If you can't stick to it, it's not going to help much.
Right. One thing, real quick on that last question,
Yeah.
this just totally reminded me of something that maybe this is subconsciously why I wanted to do the carnivore diet movie, but this had to be 10 or 15 years ago. The first way I learned about keto was through a documentary. And I think it's on YouTube now because like 2 years ago, I was looking it up because I wanted to rewatch it. It was called Fathead. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, but it's all about keto. And it was kind of an argument too. There was a documentary about, what was that called? It was a guy that went to McDonald's every day and he got really fat and he was saying how horrible it was. It was kind of a mockumentary on that, but it really got into keto and all of the science behind keto, and it was a really well done documentary that literally convinced me to look into keto more and start keto. This was 10 or 15 years ago, but it's funny. I didn't even realize that till now. So maybe that's one of the other reasons I'm thinking the documentary idea, because that's really what started me on this road that eventually led to carnivore.
Low carb carnivore. Not sure how true it is, but I have heard the markers of liquid death or makers. Look at me, I can't even read. Makers of liquid death say that they summon demons in the water. Might be just a motto, but who knows in this crazy world.
That's funny.
Well, I'm not worried about that because God's got me.
Right.
And he's a lot stronger, more powerful. If he can deliver me from the deepest, darkest depression that I was in, a demon ain't no is not even going to be a fight for him. You know, he just speaks the word and it comes into existence. So, um,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that. I don't know that. Um, but yeah, absolutely. I'm not. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. Isn't that what the word says?
Right.
So yeah, absolutely, man. I am absolutely stoked about this project that you've been on. I wanted everybody here to hear that to news that hasn't. I mean, there's probably a lot of folks that are in here that follow you and are subscribe with you, but for anybody that's not, I definitely want them to check that out. I want them to get involved because I've heard mixed reviews about Reversed. I've heard mostly good stuff about it. I watched most of it, and like I think it's great because a lot of people real. It may not hit a lot of people where they're at, and they may not grow a lot from it. But what we all as a group have to understand too is that what they've done with this reverse series and getting it out into public the way that they have is obviously in this community, we're a lot more knowledgeable because we're involved with it. We're finding out, we're seeing it. We've been a part of the community, a lot of people, and some people coming in, are learning. But with that reverse thing, like it's in the limelight, I guess you would say, in an area where people who have never even heard the idea of carnivore are going to see it. So there's so many perspectives and so many views of where things are and how people uh, get the message across to people who don't know. So I think it's good stuff. I think it meets a need because nobody else that until talking with Kerry and him bringing up this project that he's starting on and reversed, what else is out there? People are writing books, but there needs to be documentaries and movies and stuff like that. So I think it's a good thing to support it. Everybody that's trying to get the message out, even if it's not quite our cup of tea, I think we should get behind it, support it, and push it forward because it's going to make changes in lives. But Kerry, man, I'm super excited about this, and I've already told you on your channel, my channel, whatever. I want to support that. I want all the people that follow me and are here to support it, get involved with it, sign up for it. Is there something that you would like to share with them before we, wrap it up here in just a minute, and like a message that you would like to leave with them, whether it be about the family or whether it be about carnivore, whatever it is. I mean, I'll answer a few more questions, but I do want to get your message out there uh, that you want to share with them.
Yeah,
Your time, bro.
I think we covered it pretty well. The Carnivore Diet Movie website is the big one. Like if people want to participate, that would be huge. But also on the ideas side. So I mentioned that briefly, but there's a blog section or you can reach out to me on YouTube. But on that blog, you can leave comments. So I'm totally looking for feedback from people and participation. And on that blog, I'm going to post updates. So, like I said, next week I'm meeting with a producer that's done several documentaries for the BBC. So I'm gonna just keep updates. Everything new that happens with the Carnivore Diet movie, any new revelation status update, will be posted on that blog. So, yeah, I think that's the big one. Other than that, I'm just so thankful for all of the comments I've been getting on my channel. Man, it's just been so inspiring. I was just going to do that 130-day video and be done with it, but I've had people like, I've had people now telling me, like, I watched your 30-day video, which was
Mm-hmm.
57 days ago, and they're like, I started then, and I'm getting this result and this result and this result. My depression's clearing up. I'm like, man, it just seems like I did that video a week ago, but I mean, that was 57 days ago now. So I'm
Right.
already starting to see people. I'm like, I was just gonna do this one video, but it's been so inspiring. So I'm gonna just keep doing them as we can.
Isn't it amazing, man? Like, and that's one thing that I found quickly. I was like, I didn't know, have an idea what YouTube was like, but I jumped in here and started making videos and looking at stuff, and the love from the community of carnivore, keto, whatever. This whole community has, like, from the emails that I get, the Instagram messages, the Facebook messages, the love that shows me. You guys don't know whenever I might be going through something and having a hard time and like get aggravated or something not going my way and get discouraged and just get one of those little notes telling me, "Hey, look, I appreciate you. You said something that I don't even really remember saying that, like, whatever that." And it encouraged me to keep going on. Man, that's huge to me, knowing that that's an impact. And I think that because I feel like it's a huge responsibility, and I take it very seriously. Standing, coming on here every single time and communicating with you guys, because I don't know that this might be Kerry or my last time being able to communicate. You know, none of us know when it's going to be our last moment, and I think that we have to take advantage of that and make every moment count. And there's lots of people. I don't know that somebody might not be at home watching this, and this might be the last chance they got because they heard somebody recommend it and they checked this show out. And I might be the last voice they hear before they give up hope and it's over. So, yeah, I take it very seriously, what kind of content, what kind of message I put out, invest in, and stuff like that. So, I think that we always have to remember you might be the what somebody else is looking at to continue on in their journey. And and it all ties together because of the being inspired by the movie and just having a heart. I feel like, Kerry, I feel like you got a heart like I do, and you want to help people and you want to see that come to fruition, and I can always get behind that, man. I
Yeah.
did. I do have one more question that jumped in here from Locar. Anyone experience histamines from something they ate? I'm thinking it might be dairy. Histamine issues. I mean, dairy is a big deal. A lot of people have histamine from the whites and the eggs they got to give up. Try if that may be the case, and you had eggs. Try eating just the yolks. If you're consuming dairy short of butter, like stay to the fat side of dairy. When you start getting into the cream and the cheese and things like that, you have a more high likelihood of getting the histamines from that. But that's really I mean, what I know about that as far as dairy and histamines are concerned.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have anything to add. You nailed it. That's same thing
Awesome.
for me. I've just been avoiding it altogether. Well, the eggs I've been fine with though, so I've tolerated the eggs fine with the whites. I prefer just the yolks myself, but
Absolutely. Jennifer Thompson asked, "Are you both on TikTok?" I do. I don't have a TikTok, but I know it is a huge platform. Kerry, you on TikTok?
kind of a little bit. So I set up a TikTok for the movie theater. So I think I'm Montello Theater on TikTok, but then I started posting just homesteading stuff to it. So I really haven't been keeping it updated. I'm pretty much primarily just YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I'm not. I don't even have a TikTok. I can't even honestly tell you that I've been on TikTok. I don't know, other than like when they show up because people repost them. Like, I'm doing good to figure out Instagram. All right, I get on Instagram and it never allows me to post what I want to post. It makes me it like I guess it comes with a picture preset for you to post, and my thing does anyway. And you have to select a picture or a video. Like, you can't just do text. So I'm horrible with Instagram, and I'm trying to work on that. I got like 400 followers on there, and like 12 pictures. I got to do better, but um, yeah, I don't have a TikTok. I got Facebook and I have YouTube and I do have that Instagram. So, but no, I mean, I'm not on TikTok at all. Oh, Carnivore Kip ass. When is
Kip.
trying those dino ribs? And I knew he was going to.
Soon, I have to. I really want to. That was a great tip, Kip. Actually, today I fired up the smoker again. I was thinking of Kip today. I did. I'm addicted to this reverse sear process. It's a lot of extra work, but I had this really thick New York strip that was sitting in the freezer, so I reverse seared that. I cooked it on the smoker at 200 and then seared it, and oh my goodness, that thing was amazing. But yeah, I got to get those dino ribs still. Got to get to the store. I got a pretty good stockpile right now. I'm working through.
Dude, we're gonna have to have a meetup, seriously, because I mean everybody's been talking about it. It would be so cool, like, to get that meetup. And I know you were talking about premiering the movie up there at your theater, and I think that's awesome too. Me and Cassie have been talking about Cassie from Carnivore Quest, and I think Southern Ketovore, Karen, and a lot of us have been talking about doing a meetup down south here, and having everybody and seeing who could show up, because dude, just interacting with the people and getting everybody together, man, we got to get that done soon. That'd be really cool. I want to hang out with you. I want to like just chat, hang out, whatever, because I have such a good time. Even just being here on the videos, man, it's awesome. So Uh,
Likewise, yeah. Hey, I'd be willing to travel down there. That'd be awesome. That's the
and
one thing that's been bad about carnivore. Well, it's great now that my daughter Emma's a carnivore, but I only get to talk to people online. Otherwise,
yeah,
sometimes I feel like I'm in the twilight zone lately. I'm not trying to judge people, but just walking around and everyone's addicted to sugar and eating those things, and I'm kind of the crazy one just off in the corner. So
absolutely, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close it up, man. We're right over an hour here, and I know you got stuff to do and get back to work and everything, and I do as well. And I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Kerry for being here, for his time, for sharing some of his story. I look forward to what you've announced, what you got coming, and I look forward to the project. I think that's huge. I think it's important. If you guys, like I said, I mentioned it twice. I want to say it again, man. Get involved. If you're interested in getting involved, get over there and fill out that registration. Or if you want to donate, you guys just heard where to donate. I'll make sure the links are in the description. And look, when I say the best is yet to come, the best is yet to come. It's only going to get better from here. You guys like the video, share it, get it out with people, invite them to be back with you next time. And I look forward to it. And I appreciate you guys, all the support and love. And we'll see you next time, you guys. Keep pushing forward.